and I can start that business. You know? But it's going to take me missing some NFL seasons. You know, it's going to take me unsubscribing from the hub. It's going to take me leaving some of these women alone that I know they aren't trying to build with me. I know they aren't trying to build with me. They're only leeches. They only want money. They only want to come in when a man is already winning. They aren't trying to build. You got to make a decision, bro. I want to ask y'all brothers something, man. Are you creating or are you escaping? Are you creating or are you escaping? Because you can't be doing both. Like, you're doing one or the other. You're either doing something to expand. You're doing something to move the mark, to move you forward in life, or you're running and hiding in distractions you're bringing your own way because maybe you don't know how to build, or that you don't even know that we're supposed to be building as men, or for whatever other reason. But you're either creating or you're escaping. You know what I'm saying? And really what I'm asking is, like, what is it you're pouring into? Your essence, your God energy. Like what? Like your thoughts, everything about you. Where are you directing that energy, man? Because it has everything to do with your quality of life. It has everything to do with your experience in this realm. What are you pouring into? What do you mean? So what am I pouring into? I'm saying when you're sitting up at night, you know, when you're sitting on the couch and you're twiddling your thumbs, are you the man that's grabbing a notebook or grabbing a journal or making notes in your phone or sitting there in meditation, thinking about what you can be doing, thinking about what you can be building to move yourself forward, your family forward, your sons and daughters forward, to put your mom and dad in a better situation? Are you having those thoughts and composing game plans, whether they're garbage or not? Or are you a man that's escaping in drama? A man that's escaping in ESPN, the hub? Are you a man that's escaping in pointless relationships and women? You know what I'm saying? Are you a codependent man where you have to have a woman up under your shoulder at all times instead of moving forward? Are you creating or you escaping? You know what I'm saying? Because it really doesn't make. I'll say it like this: I really can't identify with a man that goes to sleep at night that doesn't have something on the agenda that needs to be done. Even if it's something as minimal as, hey, you know what? I need some shade in the backyard. I'm planting some new trees. I'm planting some new trees next week, so that, you know, in 5 summers from now, we got shade over that deck that I had built a few years ago. Or I'm going to do something. Like, something needs to be on the agenda, even if it's something small. But some men have nothing on their plates, and they're wondering why they're not fulfilled. I'm not even talking about hitting home runs. I'm not saying, brothers, why ain't we making $1 zillion? Brother, why ain't we got our own business? I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying, why aren't most men even looking in that direction and digging in his toolbox, trying to do something different in life? That is, like, it's crazy to me. In a time where the World Wide Web exists, in a time where there's AI, in a time where there's no middlemen to get ahead. You know what I'm saying? You don't need anybody. You don't need any kind of directors, any kind of publishers, any kind of really anything to move forward ahead. In other words, to take your ideas, whatever it is, and move forward. Like, there's nothing stopping you like there could, like, you know, like our fathers and grandfathers, they could have done it too, but they had way more barriers than us. You know, they had way more hurdles. They had way more red tape. we live in an era, man, that we have no red tape. Even this, I can even look at, and this is not I'm not trying to make a whatever the word, but I can even understand on how some of the younger guys, maybe even 25 and younger, or whatever the age is where the internet, like I could understand if some young men came in like 20 years old, 25, and they were saying, hey, you know what? Like they don't have that go get it because they've never seen an alternative world. But most of the men that watch this channel, you know, between 25 and 45 and 55, 65, most of us can, if we didn't experience it, at least we're well aware of a time where the internet didn't exist, where there was so much red tape to start a business and to do all the things that we can just go and do now. Like you can literally just go down to the get online and go get you an LLC or go get you a DBA and just start cutting grass and slap your name on it. Start painting houses and slap your name on it. Just building something. It's wild to me, man. I'm gonna tell you this, and I say this in different ways. I can't even have a conversation with the man if it's not about building. You know, I'm not saying we can't joke around and laugh and talk, but like if I'm having a conversation at any point in time, the base of that conversation, the base of us even sitting down talking is about us, both of us moving forward. There's no other conversations to have. Like what else is there to talk about? That's fulfilling. That's fulfilling. So are you escaping or are you creating? Are you building or are you bullshitting in life? Is the real question. And I'll say this. A lot of times I know that men aren't moving forward. Men aren't building because, and I talked about this a few videos ago, man, and I can't remember what I said, but I know I talked about it, but I'm gonna briefly bring it up again. A lot of times it's the beliefs. Not even a lot of times, the far majority of times, it's the belief. Like you'll look and see, like, because everybody on social media, you'll look and see, like, dang, I grew up with Brody. I grew up with old girl, man, and dang, he or she done did this, and they didn't finish school, or they didn't started a business, or I remember when they were doing this, and now they in the same career field, and now they just blowing up, and they big positions, and they talking on stages, like, dang, that's cool. And you desire that. You desire to build, but it's something in you that's saying, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do it, because what you're really saying is, I don't believe I can do that. I don't believe I can do that. Like all I can remember is daddy coming home the whole time growing up, and all he did was complain about the job. So that's normal right there. All I can remember is mama hating daddy because daddy was hating the job. He didn't want to expand. All I can remember is uncles and aunties just being on the street drunk my whole life. Like, so I've never seen anybody do what you're talking about. So now I don't think I can do it. So since I don't think I can do it, what I'll do is, instead of waking up every day and facing myself, I'll get lost in the NBA playoffs. I'll get lost in the NFL draft and say it's my team when I'm getting absolutely no return on investment by doing that. Yeah, I know I could be doing something else. I could be building a kingdom. You know, I could be doing something major, but I choose not to. I choose to get lost in the sauce that the world is telling me to get lost in. I don't understand it, man. I really don't understand it, bro. Like at some point, you should look around and see enough people moving without restrictions. You should have heard enough stories by now of people getting it out the mud, of people sleeping in their cars and being homeless and losing jobs and winning. Or people that did time in prison and came out and and winning. Like you should have heard enough stories by now where you say, dang, bro, like I have no excuses. I've heard every single scenario of a man in every situation, and now that man has came and now he's built something. But now I'm a man and I have absolutely no notches on my belt. Bro, I don't say how you sleep. I promise I don't say how you sleep. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta find some kind of belief. Some kind of belief in self, some kind of connection with source, some kind of something. Like I don't even know where to take that conversation, because I guess there are so many limiting beliefs that a person can have, but you gotta go inside it and do, like I said, a singular truth, shameless plug. I said a man's gonna get to a point at some point in life where he has to say, God, show me the way. Like I see the promised land. I can see it from a distance. I can see the place where everybody is going because they're doing a certain thing, but I don't know how to do it. You know? And when I say that, I'm talking to every man now. Men that are building and men that aren't building. Because even the man that's building, when he's in the trenches trying to move forward, he's gonna hit his hurdles. You know, we gotta learn how to go within, man, and figure out how to go and do something. Do something, man. But a lot of it is just belief. A lot of us don't think it will work. That's the thing right there, man. Like, even if we have, the courage to dare, and we can have an idea, and we secretly have, things we want to do in a journal, and you know what to do. You have somewhat of a game plan put together. You aren't really sharing it with anybody, but you say, you know what? If I came out the blocks and I did this and I did this, like, man, I might get pull this off and put myself in this arena, or put myself on the other side of what I'm doing in my job, and put myself, in management, or put myself out of employment in entrepreneurship, or put myself in any situation. Like you have everybody can compose a game plan in the back of their mind, but it's like, are you ever going to bring it to the forefront? You don't believe you can do it though, man. You don't believe you can do it. You don't believe you can take the ideas from your mind and write a book and solve people's problems. You don't believe you can take the ideas out of your mind and generate income from your thoughts and ideas and or experiences. You don't believe you can do it, man. You don't believe you can do it. But I'm gonna tell you, man, it's somehow you gotta get yourself on the other side of that wall. I'm not saying it's easy, but somehow, however you gonna do it, man, whatever book you gotta read, whatever content you have to watch, you have to figure out how to get yourself on the other side of that wall. And if I'm gonna give you a suggestion, I'm gonna say the only thing I know how to do. You have to consume yourself with that success. You have to overdose yourself with that thing. Like, you have to become obsessed with it. In other words, like I'm saying, and I know right now it's NBA playoffs, right? And I think the Spurs are still in it, because I keep seeing the shots of women pulling these crazy, and that's entertainment. That's something. Like, yeah, that's something cool to watch and fun to watch. I'm not saying let's not have fun and watch this and go to the movie. I'm not saying let's not do that. But what's more important? What's more important? I love sports just like the next man, or I love forms of entertainment. But bro, I've sacrificed so many seasons of football, man. And I love college football. Like, man, that's the best sport on the planet. Man, I couldn't tell you nothing about who's ranked now, nothing. Because yeah, I love, and if I can catch some highlights, that's good. But I'm building. I've been building for the last handful of years. You know what I'm saying? And that's my sport. I'm the athlete in my own world. I don't want to sit there and watch, other men, accomplish their greatness all the time and wear their jerseys and say our team is doing this and neglect my own greatness. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, you gotta, not even a lot of times, every time, you're gonna have to sacrifice something, man. You don't want to sacrifice something. You don't want to miss a season. You don't want to miss a series. You think all the women gonna be gone by the time you get done with your grind mode. I'm gonna tell you this. That's something my pop told me a long time ago, and I share it with y'all a lot of time. The women gonna be there. If you put your nose to the grind and it stays down there for 80 years, when you pop up and you 80 plus years old, the women will still be there. They ain't going nowhere. As a matter of fact, if you stay down to the ground, when you do pull up and look, it's gonna be more there. Because you're gonna have that light on you. You're gonna have that essence on you, man. You're gonna be the architect of your own life. And that's really what I'm saying is like, how can you not be the architect of your own life? And what I mean by that is I'm not meaning that from a straight like, oh, why ain't you working for yourself? I'm saying, why isn't your life looking exactly how it's supposed to look? If you're working in an arena, if you're working in some area, but you rather be on the other somewhere else, you rather have your own patent body. You'd rather be in finance, working at a big bank instead of flipping burgers. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather be racing horses as opposed to fixing diesel engines. Like, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing exactly what you want to do is what I'm asking. Why aren't you building that world? We're having a series, man, that's what I was working on for this camera up. We're having a 4-week series over the month of June, man. If you really want to tap in how to be a builder, we're having a series in the Power Circle, man. 4-week series starting next Sunday. The Builder's Mind, from consumer to creator. The Builder's Mind, from consumer to creator. And when I say consumer, I'm not talking about, going out buying this. I'm saying you're choosing to consume. You're choosing to consume the bait of this world as opposed to building your own world. Man, I wish you understand what I'm saying when I say that. You're consuming the bait of the world. And I'm not saying we shouldn't dabble in there and use it for entertainment, but use it for what it's supposed to be. Use it for when you taking 5 or 10 minutes, or when you taking, that one day off, or when you work the whole series and you taking a whole week, whatever it is, use it for that. Then you can get lost in it for a brief period. But don't get lost in it and you look over here and you don't even have a blueprint of something laid out. I don't say how you sleep at night. Not only that, what example are you leaving for your kids, your son, your daughter? Even if you don't have kids, your nieces, your nephews. Even if you don't have nieces or nephews, the young man that's living next door that sees you all the time. Like, what example are you leaving? And I'm not even talking about success. I'm just talking about the act. What is your, y'all get mad if you want to. What is your son or daughter gonna, like, think about how much of their reality you can shift just by moving in the order that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about coming up a bajillionaire. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm not even talking about you succeeding in an area. But if your kids, if your nieces and nephews at least can see Unc or Pops building something their whole life, you're shifting their reality. Going back to when I was talking about your limiting beliefs, brother, it's all like you gotta you gotta think about somebody else other than yourself. At some point, you're not gonna be here. At some point, you're only gonna be living through the people that you left here. Your essence is only gonna still have residue in this world. So it's like, man, what are you doing for them? Yeah, everybody can't leave their kids, Fortune 200 companies and billions and millions. Everybody won't be able to do that. But you have to play your part, at least showing them, the next step. If you're showing those behind you the exact same step that you got, you're taking an L in life. You're taking an L in life. And if you're doing that, I'm gonna tell you this, man, you shouldn't even go to bed tonight without writing something on paper. I wouldn't even go to bed tonight without at least writing down, you know what, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm gonna start putting a business plan together for the landscaping company I've been wanting to do, man, for the last 10 years. I love cutting grass. I love making sure, bushes and stuff are clean. Like, that's my passion. I love that. And I see all these other companies, man, like they're just not doing it right. I could bring this to the industry. I could take my income tax, man. I could buy me that zero turn. You know what I'm saying? I could hire me one or two brothers that want to help me out, and I could start that business. But it's going to take me missing some NFL seasons. It's going to take me unsubscribing from the hub. It's going to take me leaving some of these women alone that I know they aren't trying to build with me. I know they aren't trying to build with me. They're only leeches. They only want money. They only want to come in when a man is already winning. They aren't trying to build. You got to make a decision, bro. You have to make a hard decision and this is what I was talking about in the video that I'm making now for exit strategies, man, but it applies to everything. At some point in time, you have to become definite about something. Like I'm saying, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Everybody sees it. And I'm speaking to all of us. Because I'm telling you, I'm talking to every man, myself included, myself mainly. There's a lot of times that we move in life and we may start something, or we may have an idea that we don't start, and we all kind of stuff. And the only thing that's keeping us from winning in that area or finishing that project and getting that win is we never become definite. We never become all in. We're never all in. You know what I'm saying? And we look up and since we're not all in, and again, when I speak definite, when I'm speaking all drifting, I'm mainly pulling from Napoleon's Outwitting the Devil. If you aren't definite about, I'm gonna say it like this. If you aren't definite about where your life is going and what you're building, it's 100% guaranteed you're drifting. Think about that. Think about that right now when you're flipping through channels trying to figure out what next sitcom to get lost in. If you don't have something on the plate that you're building as a man, it is 100% chance you are drifting. It's 100% chance. It's 100% chance you're not even in the stadium. It's 100% chance you're in the parking lot smelling the popcorn and hot dogs when you should really be on the field. 100% chance. So you have to become definite about something, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You should lose sleep at night. You should lose sleep at night. And I'm gonna tell you this, a lot of the things that we worry about as men, like what I'm talking about now, you being definite, you having something you're working on, you moving forward. A lot of us have no idea that right there will solve a lot of the problems that we're sitting there looking at and we're running from. The things that we're facing And as a result of what we're facing, we're retreating into everything else. If we look this direction and move and start building, like, it'll fix a lot of the things. It will fix. It can possibly fix an unhealthy relationship. It can possibly fix your financial situation. It can possibly fix you not feeling fulfilled in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things we sit there and tap dance with and try to juggle, and I got him. It's like, if we just pause and say, you know what? Let me build something. Let me create. It'll solve a lot of those issues, man. So ask yourself, brothers, am I creating or am I escaping?